What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So, we got some great news. Great news. As undefeated Puerto Rican star, 23 win, no loss, no draw, 13 win by way of knockout, unified WBO, WBA, junior middleweight, 154-pound world champion, Xander Zayas, is in serious negotiations now. He's in serious negotiations. He stands 5'10" with a 74-inch arm reach, with the phenom, as I refer to him as, the former lineal, unified WBA, WBO, WBA IBF Ring Magazine welterweight world champion, now WBA interim title contender, Jaron Boots Ennis. Jaron Boots Ennis, 35 wins, no loss, no draw, 31 wins by way of knockout. Jaron Ennis was in negotiations attempting to secure a showdown with Mexican superstar title contender Virgil Ortiz Jr. Virgil Ortiz Jr., we know the 24 win, no loss, no draw, 22 win by way of knockout Mexican star boxer is held up with legal battles against his promoter and former world champion, former Olympic gold medalist, 6th Division Hall of Fame, iconic Mexican-American superstar boxer turned promoter Oscar De La Hoya. So he attempted to make a fight with Virgil Ortiz, and that fell through. I did a video the other day, and I stated that Jaron Boots Ennis has to. He absolutely has to. At this stage in his career, 28 years of age, okay? 35 fights in his career. 5'10" with a 74-inch arm reach. I believe in his skill set and his talent, but you got to show it. Jaron Ennis has to. Once the situation with Virgil Ortiz showed us that you ain't going to fight Virgil Ortiz, you got to secure a fight with either Jermell Charlo, who is the former undisputed junior middleweight and still the king of the division until proven otherwise, till he's dethroned, because he hasn't been dethroned. He moved up in weight, challenged Canelo Alvarez, and they stripped him of his belts. He didn't lose there. And he's still there. He's still relatively middle age for the sport of boxing. You got to dethrone him. And or Xander Zayas and or Josh Kelly, who just defeated the quote-unquote boogeyman, Bakram Mataliev, who I thought was the boogeyman, for the IBF title, where Matchroom CEO and promoter Eddie Hearn, who promotes Jaron Ennis, made the statement that Josh Kelly already signed and agreed to a fight with Jaron Ennis should he beat Bakram. Then Josh Kelly started focusing on, after he beat Bakram, in dramatic fashion, started focusing on the fight with Xander Zayas in a unification. So I stated that Jaron Boots Ennis must secure one of those three guys, Josh Kelly, Xander Zayas, or Jermell Charlo. Look at Jaron Boots Ennis's last 10 fights. He fought Usima Lima, who nobody heard of. Nobody heard of. Amanda Stanionis, credit because it was a unification bout, and Stanionis was undefeated. Karen Chugajan, who he fought twice and had a hard-fought fight. David Avanesian, who was already brutally knocked out by Terrence Crawford. Romain Villa, Custio Clayton, Thomas Delorme, Sergey Lipinets, Chris Van Herden, and Juan Carlos Abreu. Right? That's not going to cut it. Before that, Damian Daniel Fernandez, Ayabu. He has no marquee fights on his resume. None. And at this point in time, you absolutely cannot sit back anymore. You cannot sit back anymore and just say, well, I'm going to let my team handle it. No, now you got to grab the bull by the horns. You have to grab the bull by the horns. You have to make a statement and say, listen, I need one of these three guys. It's your career. It's your legacy. Then you cannot get mad at the media, the boxing fans, when they get frustrated and they say, you ain't fighting nobody. And you can't continue to tell the world, yeah, well, I'm fighting the guys they put in front of me. No, that don't work no more. When you got people like myself calling you the phenom. No, that don't work anymore. It simply don't work. You have to do everything in your power. At this point in time, you have to do absolutely everything in your power to secure a marquee fight in your next fight, and or allow the people to put the onus on the opponent. If it don't come to fruition. If it don't come to fruition, then you can allow, hey, I did everything, like I said, with the Virgil Ortiz situation, this is out of Jaron Boots Ennis hands. He can't do nothing about that. That's out of his hands. Now, we can say he had the opportunity prior to that to make the fight happen, and he didn't. But to his defense again, he unified the belts against Amanda Stanionis, which he said he wanted to do. And I get it. I'm quite all right with that. But at this point in time, now, you got to be like, hey, bro, hey, Eddie, you got to secure X, Y, and Z, or I got to go elsewhere. Because this ain't working out. It's your career, period. And now you got to do everything in your power. Hey, if you got to take a pay cut, like Floyd did, right? You got to take a pay cut. Floyd said, listen, you know what? Oscar's the A side. I'm going to take the pay cut. I'm going to take the L to get this marquee fight done. And then I'm going to be the man. I'm going to control everything. And at that point in time, I call the shots and I can make the offers, the big offers, period. And that's where Jaron Boots Ennis is at in his career right now. He got to have the wherewithal. He cannot sit back, well, I'm going to let my team. No, you can't let your team handle nothing. You are way beyond that point now. Letting your team sit back and allowing your team to do everything. No, you are way beyond that. Now it's up to you to make the fights happen. You got to grab the bull by the horns and you got to say, listen, you know something? I want to make this fight happen. If this can't happen, Eddie, this is the fight I want. If we can't do everything in our power to make this fight happen, then let's go to this guy. That's what he needs to do. And now once it gets to the point where you're putting your best foot forward and you can't secure one of those fights because those fighters are simply not allowing it to happen and or they're ducking you, understood. But you can't sit back and say, hey, I'm going to let my team handle it. They coming back and they telling you, oh, we contacted this person and we offer it. And you just taking it as face value, whatever they say, you just taking that and saying, oh, well, they told me, my team came back and told me. No, you got to do your own research now. You got to do your own homework. You got to do your own due diligence. Because clearly, you can't trust your team to get the job done. Period. So, that's all I got for y'all, man. So, him and Xander Zayas is in negotiations. You got to make it happen. If you got to take a pay cut to make this fight with Xander Zayas happen, you got to do it. You got to do what you got to do to make this fight happen. You can't sit back no more. Period. But let me know what y'all think, man. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. I'm gone. Peace.